So as you know, as I'm sure everybody in the firearms community knows, we had a terrible tragedy this week, an active murderer in church. And one of the things that I said on the initial analysis on the main channel is the necessity, the absolute necessity, and the reason that we talk about it all the time, of a fast and accurate draw and accurate shots on target. And that video very clearly showed us why we talk about the standards of speed and accuracy that we do. We're here at C2 Tactical in Scottsdale, and I'm going to show you what those accuracy standards look like and why we talk about them. So if you go watch the video, you go watch that main video, one of the big things that happened, dude pulls out a pistol grip shotgun, and an incredibly good man, a man who was seeking to protect his flock and protect his own life, draws his gun, but he just doesn't have the speed to do so. It took him about 3.1 seconds, and that gunman ended his life before he could get a shot in the fight. And I am not critical of him. He did whatever he could. He died protecting his congregation, and I think that's honorable and laudable, and I have no doubt he heard, "Well done, good and faithful servant." But for us, for the learning lesson for next time, I want us to be fast enough and good enough with our handgun that it's the bad guy who goes home, not us. It is the bad guy who eats lead and not us. And like I said, he had 3.1 seconds to get his gun out from the time that the gunman pointed a gun at him. He had 3.1 seconds before he was shot and killed. So we want to talk about that standard. So let's come down here at first. I haven't done any shooting today, and the reason I haven't done any shooting so far is the only time this matters is when you're cold. This has to be a cold shot. You can't warm up and have shot a couple hundred rounds and now I'm going to shoot this standard. That's not how this works. Now, if you go do your dry fire in the morning, you do your 10 minutes of dry fire before you leave for the day, that's your warm up, and that is as warm as you're going to be. But what we're going to do today is I'm going to shoot these cold. So he was at about 3 yards, and he was very close to the guy. So when we start talking about where this guy is, and right now today we're just going to use this QT target, and I am this far from this guy, and I got to get this gun out in a hurry. And we talk about the national standard for a concealed carrier is a 2.0 second draw to first shot. That is the standard that we're talking about, right? When we say a professional carrier, 1.5 second draw to first shot, and we talk about first shot there is an A-zone center mass hit. And then the black belt standard is 1.0 draw to first shot. So that's the first standard that we have to say, wait a minute, can I do those things? Now, our hero, the one who died, he had 3.1 to do it. But the reality is, I don't want to plug him once in 3 seconds. I want to plug him 3, 4, 5, 6, 8 times in that 3 seconds, 10 times if I can do it. I mean, I'm not, a blazing fast shooter. I'm no Tim Herron, but I can get up in there probably 8 or 9 times in 3 seconds. And we want to get enough in him to get going. Now then, we got the 15-yard shot to talk about still, who actually was effective, and that's a heck of a marksmanship challenge. But right now, let's shoot that. Eyes and ears, everybody. So just as an accountability issue, I'm going to have my friend Justin come on camera real quick. And again, I'm really trying not to be an Instagram operator here, guys. Have I shot any today?
Nope.
Have I pulled any triggers today?
Nope.
Okay. So I can tell you, I have witnessed. Now, he's one of my best friends on earth, so, but he wouldn't lie for me because Jesus would get him. So anyhow, I want you to notice our targets are clean. This is just cold shots, right? So I'm using an AMG Labs Commander today to just give me a timer, right? So now, again, in a real encounter, you're not going to get an audible beep. It's going to be a visual signal. We could do that, but it takes a lot more setup for me to turn that stuff on, sync it to a timer and all that stuff. Much easier to just use an audible beep on the range. So we're going to do an audible beep, and at first, the first thing I'm going to do is I'm just going to show you what a 2-second draw to first shot is, okay? I think what I'm going to actually do instead, I'm going to show you what a 3-second draw to first shot is. So he had 3.1 before he was done, and I want to show you what a 3-second draw to first shot looks like if you are efficient, right? And watch how ridiculous this looks, okay? Here we go. Haven't shot today. 3-second draw to first shot. Yeehaw. So that was actually a 2.42. I couldn't go that slow. So I have to ask you the question. What did that look like I was moving? Was I doing anything, or was I like bang? If you're efficient and you're fast, 2.4 is nothing. Now let's see if I can do a 2-second draw to first shot. 1 Chicago, 2 Chicago. Let's see if we can get it. 1 Chicago, 2 Chicago. 206, okay? So again, is a 2-second draw to first shot, is that a ripping fast draw, especially from appendix carry, which more and more people are carrying appendix. Now, one of the problems I'll say with the murder on Sunday is that he was carrying small of back, and it's very difficult to get a gun out from the small of your back, especially when you're wearing a suit coat. They're Church of Christ, suit wearing folk for church on Sundays, and so he was carrying it in the small of his back, which is very hard to get to. Most people don't have the shoulder flexibility to get to that, and it takes forever to get the gun out and in here, okay? So now let's go to a 1.5-second draw to first shot and just feel what that looks like. I just want you to see kind of how this looks. 1.5-second draw to first shot. 1 Chicago, 2 Chicago. In case you didn't realize that I have this stuff timed, I have a kind of a neuro-linguistic program here. That's a 1.63, so I was 0.13 hundredths off from what I was looking for. Okay, now we're just going to let it rip a little bit, right? So now I'm just going to go at the speed that I can go. I'm not gaming this. You'll see me. I'm going to start this one from my fig leaf position, and a lot of people say, well, wait a minute, John, that's cheating. Nah, it's not any slower. It's not any faster than hands down. I've almost never seen somebody, in fact, never seen somebody start a gunfight from their hands like this. But I will tell you, if you go watch the video from Sunday, you know what the church ushers were doing? An awful lot of this. There was an awful lot of hanging out in this kind of orientation. Very common when you're sitting against a back wall running security at church, or if you're hanging out at the mall waiting for your wife or whatever, or your kids or whatever. So I'm going to let it rip now. We're going to go. Let's see if I can go a little bit faster. I should be able to get around a second here. Let's see what we got. 3 yards. I should be able to get after this. Little low, little low. Not the best grip on the gun. But that was a 1-1, okay? Now, so now what we're going to do is I'm going to say, okay, fine. So that's still in the 8-inch circle. I'm still happy with that. 1.1. Do I have faster than that? Yeah, I can get down around 8.8 when I'm warmed up, okay? But for right now today, that's fine. So that's a kind of standard. Now what we're going to do is I'm going to show you. So if I have 3 seconds, what can I do in 3 seconds? So I'm going to I'm going to run a bill drill here real fast. So that is draw and fire 6. Draw and fire 6 as quickly as you can, and we're going to see what we can do in terms of what can I get done in 3 seconds. A little slow on the first shot. 2.61, okay? So that was 2.61. My very first shot was 1.48. Took me forever to get my first shot off. But you can see here, this is what we want to do, right? So in under that 3 seconds, 6 shots, high center mass, inside that 6-inch ring, would have absolutely drilled that guy. And that's the kind of standard that I want you to go to, guys. Not because I'm just like, oh, I want you to be fast in an Instagram operator. Now then, the harder one. Let's back up. So this is a 15-yard shot on a head-sized target that we are making here. Now, he took 6 seconds to make that shot. And again, 6 seconds to make that shot under duress with a crowd around, and not being on the range and going, I'm going to go. I'm not critiquing him at all, okay? But I am saying if he could have made that shot in under 3 seconds, if he saw it, got the gun out, he had a hard time. He actually started responding pretty quickly. He went, oh no, I need to get the gun out. Took him quite a while to get his gun out. Once he got the gun out, he went to work, but it took him quite a while to get his gun out of the holster. So I want to make sure that we can get this. So now what I'm going to do is I'm not aiming center mass here. Now I'm aiming for that head box. Now I'm aiming for that 3x5 card to try to get one inside that, because that cranial vault can be difficult to get into with defensive ammunition. So our goal right now is I'm going to try in under 6 seconds to put a shot at 15 yards in that 3x5 card. That's the standard that he had on that day. I bet you not too many people can do this. I should be able to do it in 6 seconds without any problem. Let's see what we got. 15 yards. Okay, hit it, John. Well, I don't think I did it because I think I hit high. I missed. So it doesn't matter. 1.8, but I missed. So that was a big problem. Let's try again. Come on, John. So I hurried it way too much, and I put it high is what I did. That one was a little low. So I hit him in the neck there, which would be not a bad shot. But again, so now we're talking about what did that do? Now it's at 2.16. So what are we saying? Now let's see if I can get a 3-second shot and actually get it in the stinking head box. John tried to be an Instagram operator. That one was a head box shot. All right, so this time I finally slowed down and did what I was supposed to do. 2.17. Okay, got the head box shot. So that first one I'm not happy with at all, but these ones here are perfectly acceptable. You know, this one here, if you shoot him in the neck, I don't think he's going to keep doing what he's doing. That one was the one I actually wanted, and that was 2.17 seconds. Now, let's watch and see if I really slow down and I go, no, I have a 6-second time here, and I really actually get after it, what kind of a shooting we can do here. I think, you know, if I actually slow up a little bit, I should be able to get, not slow up, stop that, John. If I am more careful with my trigger press and my dot, I should be able to get a real good center punch here. Let's do it. Not bad. That was a good dot. 213. I didn't have to slow down any. But as you can see, when I was more careful, I got that center punch. So notice here I wasn't any slower. Actually, this one was a 217. That was a 213. But I said I needed to be more careful. When I was more careful, I didn't have to necessarily go any slower. But we can see, aha, can I get that in under 3 seconds? Yes, and if I'm able to get that headshot at that kind of distance in 3 seconds or less, then maybe nobody has to die that day other than the guy who threatens everybody's life in my church. Now, I'm not criticizing, I'm not critiquing. What I am saying is how high is your standard? How high are your skills? You want the skills on that day that you absolutely can do everything possible to protect yourself, your loved ones, including your congregation. So having that standard of being able to get a draw to first shot and a center mass at very close distances, fast. I want that gun out fast. Being able to get head box shots, even at longer distances, under some time pressure, very, very important. Now, I will say this. If, for instance, that first shot went high and I'm back down on it after that, I'm okay with it running high because it's probably not going to hurt anybody in my congregation. What I don't want is to pull that one down. And I don't want to pull that one low because then there could be bystanders in the way and I could have problems with that. Okay, I don't want it winging off left and right. If I'm going to miss high. Didn't want to miss at all. That sucks. I did it though, so that sucks. And let's get those done. So guys, standards of shooting are important. Let's make sure that we're getting after it.